Welcome, fellow humans, to our new podcast, The Rules of Exposition. You like that?
I'm a fan. I like it. Are we still working through the different alternate choices for titles?
I don't think we're going to use it, though.
What happened to the Dominion podcast? I thought that was a pretty
Dominion
solid
podcast?
option.
It's a little too kind of straightforward, and I don't know. We need something more punny.
Isn't it that wow factor?
We need something punny and fun.
So you're not a fan of the alliteration of the Federation composition?
Oh, no, I do like it, but I mean, we said it was a temporary name, so we're going to keep looking.
Temporary.
Got to keep looking, got to keep searching for
the search goes on. I mean, suggest titles. We'll take anything.
Pretty much. Welcome, we're back in video.
I'm back in Perth now. I was in Barcelona for some time.
Now, was Barcelona warmer than it is here, or...?
No, to be honest, there's a crossover point, because it's a lovely coastal Mediterranean town.
Back in Catalonia, yeah.
And they're heading into winter now, and Perth is heading into summer. That's not how it works. Hang on, it's... one's going down, one's going up, but there's a crossover point. I'm not a weather guy. But anyway...
You should be a weather guy.
It was a little like going nowhere, really, because the weather there is very Perthy. And then I've come back just as it's getting warmer here, so I really picked the wrong time.
You picked the worst time. Anyway, so this is episode 7 of the podcast, The Federation Conversation. We're going to be covering episode 8 of Discovery today, and the name of the episode is...
Oh, here we go, yeah.
Civis Pacem Bellum. Parabellum.
I don't know what they were thinking. I think they were looking to just fuck up the people who do podcasts. I mean, is there a... What's After Track?
After Trek?
What's it called?
It's called After Trek.
The official one.
Yeah.
Did they say the episode name?
Beyond Trek.
We should have looked that up before we did this.
I don't want to go look at Chris Hardwick and fucking...
Is it really Chris Hardwick?
No, it's not. It's somebody else.
Oh, okay. I was going to say every podcast except ours has him on it. It's sort of...
Well, he was... It's by the same company that was doing Talking Bad and Talking Dead.
Did Mad Men have one?
No.
Ah.
Because it's too smart. They wouldn't be able to think of what happens that quickly,
Exactly.
Because it airs right after.
You need a week to do a Mad Men chat.
Yeah, you really got to sit down and just...
Go into the fine. Really break it apart.
What did he mean when he said, "This is a shameful, shameful day"?
The deeper meaning. What do you think of Civis Pacem Parabellum, David? Episode 8.
I'm
making a mug of this.
You are a mug.
I feel very tired still.
You're a mug.
I've had a couple of days to get better, but I'm not there yet. Anyway.
This episode, I enjoyed the storyline. I think Saru, Doug Jones, is a very good actor.
Oh, listen.
He's acting the shit out of this show.
We're going to talk about positives for a second. Doug Jones, definitely. Is it Doug Jones?
Yeah, I feel like that's the name of a politician as well.
No, Doug Jones is... Somebody
pointed
out.
Doug Jones, though.
Duncan Jones is David Bowie's son.
I thought Duncan Jones is the guy that made Warcraft.
That's him. He's just not.
Oh, is it David Bowie?
He's just not called Bowie, but yeah. So
okay. So David Bowie's son made.
Somebody
Warcraft.
Pointed that out to us. Anyway, fuck me.
It's like his black.
Listen,
son.
Saru. I'm a fan of his acting in this episode, especially. There's a lot of good moments. But as much as I like him, I did find myself laughing more than I should have during this episode with some of his little faces.
Scotty.
Yeah.
That's because you are not a typical viewer.
I'm not.
No, you're not.
Yeah, there we go.
This is Bernard Blackface. I didn't mean to say blackface.
Hey, you didn't put the titles on the screen.
Huh?
Yeah, we're going to have like the banner text.
Shit!
Do you want me to put that on in post?
Yes.
Alright, cool.
Nice. I only put it after this point. Alright, thank you.
Alright, okay, cool.
Okay, so, yeah, I really liked him. The Klingon stuff... Look, did you like the episode?
Okay, look,
Because I feel like this is a point of contention now.
I mean, you call it, 3 plots. You've got the weird, wonderful new, we're discovering things in the galaxy, sort of discovery subtext of they've just gone to this planet and the whole thing's alive, and there's that angle.
And something weird happens to Saru. Yeah, that's like a classic.
And then he
Star
wants
Trek.
to stay. Classic Trek. Once we watch some old Star Trek, you're gonna love
classic
the
Trek.
number of people that are 1 second they're doing their job and the next they want to stay where they are.
And the big bunny jumps past.
Yeah. Then we've got
night rides in.
That's a very good episode of Star Trek. I don't know why you.
Yep.
Then the next plot is the captain's ex-girlfriend, should I say, is hostage on a Klingon ship, and who really knows?
Call her the Admiral. She has a rank above being someone's ex-girlfriend.
No. Anyway, and the third one is Captain Stunsel is... What's his name?
Stamets, and he's not a captain.
Was he engineering... Is he engineering or science-based? What would you... If you had to put him in a role?
He's chief engineer.
Oh, weird.
He's always in the engineering.
I always thought he was a bit sciencey.
He's a scientist, but he's the engineer.
See, this Star Trek, they're not very clearly defined roles. It's like Neelix having a scanner screen on the bridge.
He didn't have a scanner screen.
We just joke about that.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But everyone else did.
Okay. So
Chakotay's playing on his little PDA. Oh, hey, it looks like the shield's down.
So we've got 3 plots here. We've got the weird and wonderful.
Yep.
We have the hostage situation, which I'm still not sure how that resolved.
And Stamets.
And yeah, Lieutenant Stetson.
Just say Stamets.
Stamets, yeah. He's having sort of weird temporal... First it started with the shaving in the mirror.
Yeah.
And it was brushing his teeth even. That is how fucked my recollection is at the moment. And now he's like...
Can you imagine in that scene,
Yep.
if like after they did that, you know, he touches his hand or his face, I can't remember, but the doctor touches his face and is like, you sure you're alright? He goes, yeah, I'm fine. And then the doctor starts brushing his teeth. And they do like they cross their arms and start brushing each other's teeth.
I'm sticking to that. You know, it's not my favourite mirror moment in Star Trek. You want to know what my favourite mirror moment in Star Trek is? After Captain Kirk's been doing the mambo, and then he turns to the mirror and he's Captain Picard. Fuck me!
I thought you were just making a joke about him dancing at some point.
No.
Yes.
Okay, in the 9th Star Trek film, Captain Picard does the mambo.
Insurrection, yes.
This is what happens when I try and podcast when I'm still fucked from travelling.
You can move across a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
I'll crush your computer. Yep.
So I only just rebuilt it. Yeah. He does the mambo, then sees himself in the mirror, and the youth revitalization effects of this planet's radiation is making him younger.
Yes.
But all he really does is suck his gut in a bit and try and look younger, like it was before they didn't do any de-aging. I don't think they did.
They must have.
I don't know. It's one of those weird shots where you think they might be doing something to it.
Doing this.
But it was right before they got the idea in their head that they could make people look younger with CG, which is ridiculous because they can't.
I certainly feel like they did something to that shot.
Well, when we watch Insurrection, we'll settle this for sure. At the moment, they're not doing too badly. I did see some Michael Douglas that looked pretty good.
Oh, the stuff that they did in the Marvel films.
Yeah, it's getting better.
You can definitely see it sometimes, but it's also really, really good.
But what they haven't figured out how to do, and I think you'll agree with me here, is sound younger.
Definitely. Robert Downey Jr. still sounds...
Tony Stark from Winterfell. And,
Winterfell? Tony Stark from Winterfell.
Yeah. And then you got Michael Douglas, who's like, yeah, I'm 80s Michael Douglas, but my voice is... Like, he's come through throat cancer. He won. Like, he beat the big C.
Jeff Bridges as well.
Yeah. Did they do young Jeff Bridges? Well, they did in Tron. I know that much.
Was it Jeff Bridges in
We'll get to the point in a minute, but
Guardians of the Galaxy 2?
Yeah. Well, I haven't actually seen that, but anyway, my point is, while they're getting better with the CGI faces, they haven't learned how to make people sound younger yet, and that's a problem. I don't quite know how they're going to crack that one.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Star Trek Discovery.
Well, I just want to say that Marvel did a good job, and I think they did a better job than Rogue One did. I mean, but mostly because it was in moderation.
Isn't it all ILM?
I don't know. Yeah, maybe it's the same guys.
And then what do you mean in moderation? They only used it like one shot. Princess Leia was all de-aged.
And
with Tarkin. But they weren't trying to de-age him. They were just trying to recreate him. That's a little different.
Well, it's still a 3D person. It's still a 3D person.
Yeah, but that's a tougher job, I think.
How much of
recreating is harder than de-aging?
How much of Robert Downey Jr.'s old face did they really use for the young face footage?
That's what I wondered.
Isn't it mostly just a reference?
That's what I wondered about Tron when they did Jeff Bridges, because I'm sort of like, but he's like a different guy.
Because if you look at that scene,
if we're going into,
we're just going to do it live because we can do it live. Fuck it, we can show stuff live.
What was I trying to?
You keep making your point.
You call up the shot, and I'm just going to try and remember what it was I was trying to say about the 3. You said people were saying a lot was going on in this. Too much was going on.
Too much was going on. Yes, that's
and
what people are saying.
While I would ordinarily say that about a show with an episode with 3 plot threads, to be honest, this kind of felt like a nothing episode to me. It didn't feel like it was 40 minutes long. It didn't. I don't know. I just came away from it. It seemed sort of short. Well, that's pretty good. Sorry, David's just showing me 3D Tony Stark. Oh shit! What have you done?
Sorry. I'm trying.
This is pretty amazing.
Trying my best.
Oh, here he is.
There he is.
Okay, that's not bad.
But how much of this do you think is his real face? You know.
That's a good question. Well, what do they actually?
Because it does look really good. It looks like young Robert Downey Jr.
I'm not sure.
Hey, I'm John Slattery.
Yes!
I got a mustache.
I love it when John Slattery's in this show. movie
in this show.
Can we just talk about? I mean, mentally, I'm gone.
Yes.
I was awake for, I don't know, a good 30 hours or something the other day. Because of the flying, and then I went straight from the airplane to a gig, and then I played the gig, and then I couldn't really sleep after that because I was, awake.
Yeah.
And then I got a little bit of sleep, and then the next day there was another gig. And then after that I slept, coma sleep, but then my Sunday was really fucked up because I was just, too much sleep. And then this today. And I'm just not all there. So forgive me if this is a little bit of a rambling podcast. David, please take the wheel.
So you were talking about Star Trek, and now you're not.
On the point of too much going on versus not enough, where do you... I mean, you think it was fine?
I think the weird pacing of this, because there definitely is weird pacing. I personally think too much is going on.
Yeah.
Because I think what they've done is it was originally going to end, the mid-season break was going to be at the end of episode 7.
Which was last week?
Yeah, which was the mud episode.
That would have been a fine point to do it, but not suspenseful. It's like...
No suspense at all. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Instead, they have done some sort of re-editing or reordering or something to make it these two, which seems like a double episode, these 2 episodes, and then the break happens.
Okay.
Which is more suspenseful. I'm sure there's going to be something big at the end. But I feel like what they've done, they must have done some sort of weird editing to get this episode together.
Yeah, they've changed.
Like it was going to be a double episode or something. Like they were going to start the second half of the season with a double episode, like a full 2 episode.
It does have that half-baked feeling of something that's been fucked with.
Because the Stamets thing goes nowhere. Like, obviously it's a half episode, so they can have something go nowhere for now.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's kind of suspiciously... There's like maybe 2 scenes with Tilly and Stamets.
Yeah.
And then also there's all this weird stuff with the Klingons, which doesn't... Maybe it's just the way they're making the show.
Is it just because I'm, tired?
No.
The Klingon stuff really didn't sink in with me.
Up to the point where they're escaping.
Yeah.
It seems fine. It's like she's making friends with the Admiral. They're going to pretend to escape. She wants to get to the Discovery so she can activate Ash Tyler.
Yeah.
And then she pretends to kill... She pretends to kill the Admiral? I don't know. Because she looks pretty fucking dead.
They keep showing her dead, which clearly means she's not dead.
You know that big ridge, that big thick forehead that the Klingons have? Yeah, it really hurts.
In television law, it's codified that the number of times you show somebody dead actually ascertains whether they're dead or not. And I think they've crossed that line now with Admiral...
so she's not dead anymore.
Admiral Cornwell.
Yeah, so they...
What's her fucking name?
Cornwall, yeah.
Okay, whatever. Whoever the fuck she is. They've established now that she's not dead.
Because they showed her dead so many times. Yeah, that makes sense.
And her being crushed up against that Klingon
but I still...
electricity substation.
I don't get that.
No.
I don't really get that.
Little peculiar.
And then she goes to the bridge. Well, she's found out that all her previous shipmates... Were they her previous shipmates that now joined... Tukuvma?
No, his name's Cole.
Cole. Sorry. Yeah, you distracted me.
Sorry.
Cole.
You just like saying Tukuvma.
So when all her friends defected from the Ship of the Dead, is that when Cole killed them all just for being defectors? And then she found that out just then, and now she's like, oh, I'm going to get him.
Oh, yeah, hang on a minute. And also...
Who are those dead guys?
I don't know. Well, they were her friends.
Yeah, but from her current ship or from her previous ship?
I don't know. That's the thing.
And then she goes onto the bridge.
And she defects, but then he's like, show her what we think of liars.
Yeah, and he goes, okay, you can be in my house. You liar! Get out of here! It's like... The pacing is weird. Just the way they've ordered this. And I think it was a double episode and they've done something weird to, edit it differently.
I am, and I don't want to, but I think I am going to have to watch it again. Just so that I'm not completely blindsided next time.
Right now.
No.
I mean, it was the mini the story within this episode was good. I liked the Saru stuff. Another thing I didn't so much was the fact that in the end when Michael and Saru are fighting, she's going boop, 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 and then Ash Tyler just kind of teleports in.
That was a little... I mean, couldn't he have just run, but he's slower because he's a human?
Or he runs and, the spores are... What's it called? Spores. They're not spores, they're like aliens. but they look exactly like the spores, and they also helped him teleport.
That troubled me. How they
are they meant to be the spores? Are they the same as the spores? Or
I mean, I like that the show's finally
because they have teleportation abilities.
Okay, I don't want to speak harshly on latter
just a little from a viewer's perspective. They're making it confusing.
Yeah, I don't want to hate on seasons of Trek that I haven't seen, but I like that they're at least trying now to make aliens that aren't just all. Yeah,
I don't want to
in the 90s.
Yeah, I don't
everyone's
hate,
a guy in a suit.
I don't want to hate on Trek that I haven't seen, but this feels very much like season 4 of Enterprise.
Oh well, my point is,
I've seen a bit of it actually.
We need some aliens that aren't just guys in suits, which is fine. But these ones on this planet, the living planet where everything's a glowy cloud that sings, they seem a little similar to the spores that are making the spore drive work.
Yes. There's a bit of an issue there, simply because
they're the same colour even. I mean, I'm sitting there thinking the same thing as you, so
it just makes it a little bit confusing. Like, I mean, if there is some sort of connection between them and the spores in the end, then cool, I guess. But right now it's a bit confusing because I assume that's not what they're doing.
I mean, if Michael Burnham's a Mary Sue, then these are the floaty aliens. I mean, God, they're everywhere and they do everything.
There was another point I wanted to make, obviously, because we do this podcast every week.
Yeah, and we talk about the show.
I want to make more than 2 points.
I'll take up some time and just apologise again for not being completely with it. Look at my notes. I didn't even take proper notes this time because, to be honest, the show didn't leave me with that much of an impression. I mean,
well, let's start at the start of your notes. The captain at the start looked like Al Bundy.
Well, that was actually what you said, but yeah, it looks
I know,
like
you wrote it down for me. Yeah.
I wrote it down so you wouldn't forget. Captain Al Bundy. He gets wiped out. He's the captain of the Gagarin.
The Gagarin, yeah.
I swear to God, one of the characters.
Also, those bridge officers, the one with the stupid hair that sits at the front.
Oh, Weekend.
Oshawaka. Oh, that's what he said. That's what her name was.
Oh, Captain Okinawi. Yeah.
No, she's not a captain. Stop calling everyone captain.
They're all captains.
No, they're not.
In this Federation fleet, we're all equal. I can't imagine Captain Locke doing that. You know what? You're all going to seat at my table. We're all in command.
There's a part of Deep Space Nine, I think, where they say we got too many captains. We don't have enough ships. We've got too many captains.
Well, you see, here's the thing, David. We want to get a good...
yeah, she talks really slow, which was just...
We want a good soundboard for the podcast.
Yeah.
And I've got the resources on my iTunes.
We may not have enough troops or ships or weapons, but we have plenty of captains.
Okay, it was from the Mirror episode. Yeah. See, I knew it was Deep Space Nine. I forgot which Deep Space Nine episode it was, but thank you very much.
Okay, so Tilly being a captain, they're telegraphing the fact that he's temporarily out of whack. He's on the wrong groove of the record.
It's either temporal or alternate universe, but the alternate universe thing seems weird because why would she be a captain?
Yeah, she wouldn't just be a captain in an alternate universe. If it was an alternate universe...
I mean, there are definitely alternate universe episodes where shit just doesn't really make much sense.
There's an alternate universe where this show makes sense. Sorry. I know, it made sense, but it just... How can I watch the same episode as everybody else and feel as though it was shorter and light on content? It felt like the stretch was being pulled on me. I'm sorry.
It's because they're setting up everything for the next episode.
Okay, all right.
So they're setting up.
But I know
Klingons
we watched a lot of television. We know what a setup episode feels like. I'm not a. Yeah. This isn't my first rodeo.
Well, okay. They had a combined setup and little Star Trek episode with the alien Saru stuff because they get to the planet, Saru gets taken over by the thing, and then at the end of the episode, the spores decide. The aliens decide...
Whatever the fuck that... Do these aliens have a name? The Harmoniums?
The Peruvians.
The planet was called Piano. Pavo.
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 The Pavians.
The Parwraiths.
Okay. Oh. The Pavians decide that they're going to fix the conflict by calling Cole over in his ship.
It is so dumb.
Why is that dumb?
I mean, how dumb would you have to be?
Oh, it's a dumb idea by them?
It's dumb if they don't have... Okay, because in the original Star Trek, the Organians get the Klingons and the Federation together, but then... They fuck them up by making everything too hot to touch, so they can't fight each other, so they have to come to an agreement, which results in the Organian peace treaty. But these are clowns.
What do you mean too hot to touch?
Literally, like, their phases are like, shit, I can't do it, and they're up in the ship and they can't push the buttons. And what I was going to say was, unless these Pavians have the power to do that, they're just saying, oh, we'll get them together. And
they seem like helpful idiots at this point.
Helpful idiots, okay.
Because, they probably can't help. Unless they take over the minds of everyone and go, oh, hey, everything's cool. Yeah, like they did with Saru.
Oh, okay. Alright.
And yeah, so they set that up, and they have the Klingon thing. They've got the Admiral dead on the ship, and Tyrell? What's her name?
Is that the female Klingon?
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Lacrell?
You've got a theory about her eyes changing colour as well.
Oh yeah, at the start of the episode she had 2 different coloured eyes. Like her damaged side was like bright orange.
Well, maybe it just got better.
No, it didn't get better. Look, it's...
Well, what do you mean?
I'm just going to have to bring it... I don't know why I'm opening Firefox. I'm just going to have to bring it up because...
yeah.
Where's your...
Sorry, my computer's very disorganised. It's kind of like me at the moment. Yeah, let's fire
It's
this up.
very disorganised. Okay. So let's mute this. You keep talking.
Okay.
Let
me think for a minute.
Do you like this black Vulcan guy? He keeps appearing.
Well, he's at least an unemotional admiral. I mean, I can do without any more Vulcans being all, like, passive-aggressive and shouty.
Yeah.
I do really want to... I have to download the episodes that I watched when I was in Barcelona, because I don't have them here. Because I want to watch that scenes of Sarek dream fighting with Michael Burnham again.
Yeah, he just punched and goes, whoa!
Classic track. Oh, this show's ridiculous. Okay, this scene that you can't see it on the screen at the moment, but David's playing the scene where they're in the interrogation chamber and they scream at each other. It's like, what the
she does have 2 same coloured eyes in this scene.
Okay.
There's definitely a scene somewhere in this episode where she has 2 different coloured eyes.
I think it's a Mandela effect thing. I think...
No, I was watching this like an hour ago.
I think you're like Captain Stencil. You can't remember things properly because the time is shifting on you. See, he's even pulling the face right there, just like you. You're pulling the same face.
Another continuity thing is there's a shot where Saru falls down like after he gets stunned, and he's got regular high top.
I was telling you
shoes.
about that.
He just has regular ass shoes on. He doesn't have his hooves on.
That happens a lot of women, and they give him a sexy regular outfit with a good heel on it, but then during the action scenes it'll be like flat.
Yeah,
so
they
she
just
can
wear
jump around.
normal heels. But it's funny though.
Oh, it's hilarious.
That's what I find amusing.
It's hilarious. They've turned that old trope on its head. It always happens to women. Now it's happening to Doug Jones.
It's not a trope. It's just a production thing that they.
Well, see, but that's the thing.
Messed up.
In that shot, they could have had him in like the hero props. Yeah, get this on screen. This is important. In that shot, he's not doing anything stunty. They could have.
I think it's the end of a stunty shot. Like he fell over in that
This is lazy
shot.
production.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I don't blame them that much. It's whatever. You
And
know?
I want to see women do the stunts in the sexy ones. Like, I mean, make them do it.
No, it's dangerous. I think
Life is dangerous. The world is dangerous. Smoke your cigarette.
you're a man
Yeah.
or a woman in this case. There is definitely a shot somewhere in this episode where she has.
I believe you.
different
Oh, look,
colours.
there she is. Sorry, Tilly was just on the screen.
Yeah. What about Tilly?
There we go. I mean, what is this? Come on.
What's wrong with that?
I don't know. It's a little goof troop. There's a lot of moments in this episode that were kind of goofy. Some of them centered around Saru, even though he is, at the moment, my favourite. Well, not my favourite character / actor.
Who's your favourite character / actor in this show right
Look,
now?
I like Locke the most.
You
but
like
I,
Locke,
but I
definitely.
think Doug Jones is the one with the most talent.
Don't you think Lorca's a little bit goofy as well? Just from your... Because I know you. I know what you think is goofy.
Alright.
So when he says something like, we got your back, when he flies in the Discovery...
I know, I hate that shit.
Yeah, you don't like him saying that.
But that's not really him.
It is him, though.
No, that's the scriptwriters ramrodding that sort of language.
We got
It's
your
like
back?
It's like when he's in the cell with Ash Tyler, and then there's how you doing, soldier, and all that shit. I mean, I know that's not really Locke's heart.
So you know the character better than the,
Yeah, I know.
the writers? Is that what you're saying?
yeah, I do.
Fair enough.
What was I talking about?
You were talking about he's not... Saru's not your favourite.
Okay, yeah.
actor.
No, look, it's tough. It's a toss-up for me between Locke and Saru, but I think Saru he edges ahead on talent
Yes.
because he's doing more with that mask and that stupid get-up, and the fact that they keep getting these fucking threat flippers poking out, which is distracting as hell.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's fighting through all that, and he's showing a lot of character. It's very good. I thought he was going to be this show's version of that fat piece of crap in the Orville, the one that's always deadpan. You know what's amazing is I look at the Orville Reddit. Whoa.
Reddit?
The Orville Reddit, and there are people like quoting Bortus and like saying he's cool and stuff. You fucking retard.
You don't like it?
Oh, they backed the wrong horse. No, but
Well, I got the season 2, Scotty, so you
What
get
is
on the
with
horse.
that?
Get on the horse, Scotty.
again, I think it's... I mean, Discovery was always going to get a season 2 because they make such a big song and dance about a show. They really commit to it. They can't go out and say to them, well, this is just a one-season thing. It's a one-shot deal.
I think the issue is that Seth MacFarlane has a whole lot of pull at Comedy Central. Fox?
Yeah.
Comedy Fox?
What network is it on?
Comedy Central. I think it's Fox. No.
Well,
I have no idea. Anyway.
It's not
he has a lot of pull, and he also has Family Guy, which... I assume he has some sort of power over it, like he could pull it at any moment.
Well, I'm thinking Family Guy bankrolls everything he does anyway.
I mean, he's doing like 3 or 4 different voices on it, so they need him to...
Yeah. He can't just walk like Harry Shearer from The Simpsons. Wait, did he get pulled back in again?
Did he get pulled back in? What do you mean?
They pulled him back in for one last job. No, Harry Shearer was going to leave The Simpsons. And there was a big display about it. No, what are we going to do? I was like, no, it's okay. We'll just recast all of his characters. Harry Shearer, Simpsons. Let's see if he's back on. Anyway, no, Saru.
Okay, I think she had this. Look, I found the one shot that I was paying attention to in this episode was this one. And I was like, hey, she has 2 different coloured eyes. But I don't think
is
she
it just the
does.
light?
I think it's
whatever.
Ignore that.
Okay, I don't really care about Harry Shearer.
No, you don't.
Saru.
Sorry.
Standout performance of this episode, but at the same time, there was little moments in the woods. I don't know if we noted any of them. I don't know.
Saru's a fucking liar.
There was funny shit, like when he chokes Ash Tyler, he's like, oh, he says something funny, like, where
has she gone?
Where's Burnham?
Where has she gone?
Where has she gone?
You're trying to distract me.
Also, I've got another note here. Ash really is falling for all of these implanted memories. What a chump. He thinks he's going to go to a little log cabin when the war is over. He thinks it's all going to... He's never been in that log cabin. He's not a human.
I really want that to not be the case.
He's a spy.
I don't know what else they're doing.
He's a fucking spy.
I think at this point, it has to be... It's going to end up... Well, okay. There's a few possibilities.
Yes.
This is the real Ash Tyler. And then in a few episodes, they're going to walk in with, like, a really stupid-looking face. Like a badly drawn human face. And he's like, hello, I'm Ash Tyler. And it's going to be... It's going to be Vok.
yeah, he's snuck in.
Like, Ash Tyler gets kidnapped. He replaces him, and everyone goes... Ash is acting really weird.
Do you want to know what I thought was happening in this episode?
Hello, fellow humans.
I thought that these new spores were making Saru telepathic, and when that scene where he's like, "No, your intentions are not."
He's touching
I thought that he was finding out that he was a spy. Then I thought that was going to be the big reveal, and then maybe like he was going to like knock Saru out or something so that he wouldn't tell Burnham.
I think it's going to be at the end of the next episode.
I think the show is much better in my head than
because there's a lot of Klingon stuff next episode, which there was a section there where they were ignoring it pretty much 3 or 4 episodes.
Yeah,
I think it was more like two episodes.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be at the end of the next episode. That's going to be the mid-season thing.
All right,
reveal.
Okay. Well, it has to happen after Burnham and her, Ash Tyler and Burnham consummate their relationship. It has to happen after that to really reach
the other thing that annoys me is that
dramatically speaking,
it annoys me in all kinds of ways.
Okay.
He's sitting on a medical bed at the end. If he's a Klingon, like how well are they hiding this Klingon business?
Right. Well, again, it's Star Trek. You don't really know what the method of the mind swap is. Is it a body surgery?
Because I mean,
did they take a human and put his Katra in there the way the Vulcans do?
There's an episode of Deep Space Nine where everyone gets dressed up like Klingons and I'm O'Brien, but I'm also a Klingon, and they're just
one basic scanner would reveal that they're just wearing bad prosthetics.
Exactly.
Yeah, but they never.
So and then Ash Tyler's sitting on a medical bed.
Yeah.
And I guess Hugh sees all the extra organs he doesn't care.
I think when we find out that Ash Tyler's really a Klingon, or that he's working for the Klingons, they'll go with whatever premise seems most plausible to them. But to be honest, that's very arbitrary. Because, I mean, in the 80s, when people still believed in the afterlife and stuff, everybody thought, oh yeah, Spock has a soul. Let's just put it in McCoy. And that was, nobody thought twice about that. And I love that movie, and it's very touching. But, I mean, I'm not falling for that now. Like, you're not going to get me.
I think I mentioned it before, but
yeah,
the way they, like, kind of dove headfirst into the Vulcan magic kind of stuff is a bit stupid. Like, I know they've established all this stuff in Star Trek previous, not all this stuff, but a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
and stuff equally as goofy as that.
Yeah.
Like this telepathic mind link from across the universe where he gets to fight kung fu in his mind.
Yeah.
They've established stuff goofier than that before.
Yeah.
But they just kind of front-loaded it.
Yeah. It's partly the presentation of the goofy stuff as well. I mean, I can much... it's much easier for me to buy into Spock and McCoy and the rejoining ceremony and all that, because the music's beautiful and the visuals are kind of simple, and so it's a lovely bit of cinema. But Sarek dream dueling with what's the fucking name? Michael Burnham across that nebula looks dumb as hell, and I mean,
And
objectively they are
it kind
both
of just is more goofy than...
yeah. Objectively, they're both bullshit concepts, but one maybe it's because I grew up with it. I don't know.
Well, I mean, he's using McCoy's body as
That's a beautiful
vessel
scene. The music.
for his soul. He implants the soul into McCoy, and then he goes and sacrifices himself, and then... How did they get a new Spock again? They sent his dead body to
Spock's
Genesis.
dead body regenerates into a baby on the... See, I've never quite understood.
Was it actually a baby?
Okay, well, you never see him in baby. You see him age 7, and then he ages up, and then they get him off the planet just as he's turning 50,
this.
which...
I have not seen... Just as he turns 50.
It's convenient, because...
Wow, Spock, you're about the same age.
age.
That's incredible.
But you never see him as a baby, but I'm assuming that had to happen.
Yeah. Okay, well, I guess old Star Trek is pretty goofy.
It is, and I mean, I love...
Forgot about that.
From the second film to the fourth film, that's 3 movies. Okay, whatever. I love that trilogy.
Yeah.
I would never trade it for anything, but at the same time, I always sort of wonder how different things might have been if they'd just gone back to making a show like they wanted to in the 70s, because you would have gotten a lot more content. Whereas the whole 80s, almost the whole 80s was taken up by this one story of Spock getting killed, Spock getting brought back to life, and then the whale thing. Which I love.
And then Cyborg.
Well, I'm not really counting Spots. Spybok.
Cyborg.
I can't podcast, I'm sorry.
I think they should call him Ash Spyler.
What do you guys think of the new limited edition Federation Conversation mugs? It's got the Federation logo on it.
That's not the Federation logo, Scotty. That's from our primary school.
Yeah, I know.
I can't believe you missed the reunion at our primary school.
This is the only school reunion that I've ever wanted to go to. I've been waiting for this since I was 6 years old, because when I was 6, it was my first year of school. I didn't
Our
go
school
to
turned 100, by the way.
Yeah, I didn't go to pre-primary.
Yep.
And we had the 75th anniversary. It was all, they had a couple of students in from the beginning, and our principal gave us this wonderful speech. He said all this shit about how it's actually your school. He said there was, a lot of meaning in this weird shit he was saying to a bunch of 6-year-olds. Beautiful stuff. Took a bunch of photos. There was a time capsule, which I'm sure they didn't remember to open. And
when were they going to open it?
Well, I would have assumed here, but I guess not. I put some shit in there. I can't remember what it was.
I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention to the big things they were doing.
Anyway, when I was a kid, I was thinking, I was doing the numbers. I'll be 31, and I assumed I'd be really tall, quite muscular, and a bunch of other things that I just thought was what happened to people when they grew up. Yeah. And I'd been counting down, waiting for the big 100, and then this year I was sort of like, are they going to announce anything, or are they just going to fucking let it go by?
They just did it.
And then after I booked my trip, they announced it. Oh yeah, guys, on October the 22nd, come on down for the open day. Now, on the one hand, I don't care, because they do the electoral counting down there, so every time there's an election, I treat that like an open day. I just go
you go there anyway.
Anywhere I want and take
I haven't
photos.
been down there in many years.
No, see, I do that every couple of years for the elections. But on the other hand, I didn't get to see all the old teachers I wanted to. Mrs. Lloyd and Mr. Hayworth and...
Yeah.
Did you say hi to them?
You didn't want to see Mr. Gmamiel?
Was he there?
Yeah, he was there.
Nobody took a photo with him. Were you not that keen?
We kind of talked with him, and he said he did the thing, because he said I don't remember any names, so don't expect me to remember names, which is fine.
He said that.
And he seemed to recognize us, but I don't know, I didn't really have anything to say to him.
Piece of crap.
No, he was fine, and...
Piece of shit.
What do you mean?
How can he not? How come other teachers can remember you, but he can't?
No, he remembers. But he
He's
remembered us.
Senile.
He remembered us, but it's
Yeah.
I didn't really have much to say. I didn't really have much to say to any of them, really.
No, that's fair.
Because I was 10 or whatever. It's...
I don't know.
They're just weird adults that teach kids.
My problem is I remember too many things.
Maybe.
I have a very good memory.
Maybe Mr. DeManuel would have just gone to a blind rage when he saw you, yeah.
Well, there was that time where he was playing solo recorder and he fucked up and I laughed at him.
Yeah.
And he pointed and he said, "Put your name up on the board with 4 crosses." We only ever supposed to get 3.
What's happening?
So, fuck, 4? Anyway,
4 crosses.
That's school talk with Scotty and David.
Yeah.
Is that it for Admiral Dyke? I mean, did she really buy the farm? Or is
Well, no, you said they showed her too many times, and they did, so...
That's my logic.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think?
That makes sense, yeah.
Okay,
So,
holds up.
she's probably still alive. I mean, they put her in the meat locker, and...
Do you like that shot where Happy Saru is touching both their necks? Nurturing one.
I do like that. I didn't see it the first time I watched the episode, because I watched half of it and then came here, and then you hadn't seen it yet.
Yeah.
So then I watched it with you. But yeah, he's like slowly caressing the backs of their heads. It's like, don't worry, it'll be alright.
Ash Tyler's
And
like...
Ash Tyler's like, okay.
In the original series, I just want to say they did have a death penalty on the books. This show says the Federation has no death penalty, so there's a bit of a change there. Not the kind of thing I care about. Again, we've said in every episode that we don't care about canon, so...
It's very small. It's very small dice, yes.
Yeah. We don't care. But that's just, a talking point.
I mean, look, I hope the next episode ties up everything kind of neater than they left it, because, again, this episode feels kind of weird in terms of pacing and stuff like that. But, I assume they'll tie it up nicely, and then we have to wait 2 months.
Yeah.
So in 2 months...
How many?
9 weeks, maybe.
So are we starting the original series, or are we?
I think we have to. We can't
really have a choice.
We can't leave for 9 weeks.
Yeah. If we expect
Our
anybody
fans-
to come,
Our fans can't handle that.
If we expect anybody to come back for a little more of the Federation, we should get mugs. What do you think?
Yeah, maybe. How many episodes are in the first season of TOS?
28. No, 23. Oh fuck, Jesus. I don't know. 20.
It's not more than 20.
22. Well, there's 2 pilots.
Yeah.
Chekhov and Sulu. Fuck me.
Oh, I think we could definitely do the first season of TOS within the break.
Oh, okay. Well,
and we will.
Well, an episode for the pilots, then.
I've got it all set up, Scotty. Don't worry.
Okay.
I can't remember how many episodes it is, but
yeah, there's another note here. Ash stinks. I mean, I don't know. Look, he's not a bad actor, but he seems like he's more of a solidification of all that soldier bullshit that they sometimes get Locke to say that I don't like very much.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's more of an embodiment of
to all those that have fallen, and some who are still here today.
Yeah, who was given sacrifices. Wheelchair. Yay! I love that bit. Again, I shouldn't be laughing at these bits, but
I don't know. I like Ash Tyler.
They're presented as comedy.
He's pretty suave, and I think he's pretty cool.
He's a fine actor, but yeah. He's turned into Neelix with the mud cakes. What happens there? Is that when Saru is like eating the native turtles?
Oh yeah, Saru walks into the tent. He said, "Hey, you don't need any more nutrient supplements now that I brought this mud cake.
No more oat bars for you guys. I got the good stuff."
Saru.
Hang on. What would a planet like that, where everything's alive with spore magic, how would they feel about eating life? I mean, does it not really matter because it just goes through them and becomes part of them?
Again, I didn't think it was life. I think it was
just a rock.
Yeah, it wasn't like a turtle.
But it's a planet where everything's alive. Even the rocks probably have those spores in them.
Okay, but you keep saying it's a turtle. It was not a turtle.
It looked like okay, the head and the legs were in the shell, but it looked like a turtle shell. What?
That it could also just be a big lump of anything.
It could be, but at the same time...
A turtle without legs or a head just looks like a rock.
The size of a tortoise that had retracted all of its appendages to me.
It was mud cake. That's what it...
I made mud pie.
Yeah, mud pie.
I can imagine him lovingly patting it together.
Oh, Lieutenant Tyler.
You've taken everything away from me.
You just don't stop taking.
Jeez, he's got some buried shit. They all do. And that's the thing. I mean, now they're worried about Ensign Stencil and his mental condition because he keeps seeing the future.
Lieutenant.
So we've got Locke. He's up for psych eval.
Yeah.
But he managed to get rid of...
Hopefully she never comes back.
Yeah, he got rid of the only woman that could tear him down. We got Tilly. I don't know what's... We'll find something wrong with her. Okay.
We'll find something... Her first scene was her saying, I've got all these problems, but don't worry because I'm happy.
Yeah. Okay, she's a neurotic bundle of nerves.
Yes, thank you.
But aren't we all? Stamets, he's losing it because of the time travel. I mean, they're all fucked up. I can't remember all the crew at the moment.
Well, it's a I don't mind that. I mean, it's a fucked up ship.
My last note is WTF Saru. I think it's when he's smashing the computer.
Yeah, he gets the laptop.
I really love how committed he is to smashing that comms device. He's like, oh, I'm going to do this.
I like the way he grabs Michael Burnham's legs and drags her away. It's like, yeah.
I really wanted him to inflict more pain.
That's when you put the rock music over the top.
Yeah.
And then he grabs the big wrench and he starts smacking the barrels in the...
I can't wait for DSC 9. No, I wanted him to hurt her more there because then she could do one of her screams that she's so famous for now.
Yeah, she does this really weird, like... It's like... They, just act like you're really screaming, and then she doesn't care what it sounds like. She just goes, "Bah!"
Where does that come from? Is that a director saying, "Give me the scream of your life," or is it her version of, like, I mean,
it's like just be really primal, just like don't care about, just act like you're really in pain, and then she goes, "Bah!"
God help anybody that's ever near.
I mean, she did get really. I mean, she got kicked in the chest with a hoof. Imagine getting kicked in the chest by like a horse.
I love the shots of him running too. Oh, I'm going to catch Michael Burnham.
That's pretty good.
Look, it's a fine episode, but I don't know. It didn't quite tick as many boxes for me as the last couple. I think the previous 2 episodes were better. Maybe once I know what happens next week and I watch it as a season, I'll understand it better. But at the moment,
yeah, I think it was just
a mixture of it being a setup episode and a mixture of me being away with the fairies at the moment. I apologise. I'll try to be more complimentous.
I just don't like the Klingon stuff, to be honest. Like, I think it just slows the show down. And you're watching a downloaded version, so you have the subtitles baked in. It's like the CBS version.
What's with the font?
I really don't like that font. Like,
couldn't they use...
I think I complained about this on the first episode because I also downloaded it.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't on Netflix for like a few hours.
Yeah.
They are baking in this like all caps font.
I want the font that they used to use in the old Star Wars films. Okay, that's a shit example. That's not it.
A bit blurry. Yeah, it's just basic.
A great readable font. Vintage.
It's just like basic Calibri.
Classic.
It's just like Calibri, you know? It's just nice and simple. But they're doing this thing with like the really thin capital
cinematic
letters.
As fuck, yeah.
And really short sentences before it like flashes onto the second half of the sentence.
Yeah. It's like that bullshit in Rogue One.
It instantly makes it harder to read.
Every time they name a planet, they've got the title font or something. It's a little much for me. I don't know.
Like, I've been watching it on Netflix since the first episode, and it's way easier to just follow everything because it's just got normal subtitles.
For the last month, I've been watching it with Espanol subtitles. You had no idea how rough that was when they started speaking Klingon.
I mean, there weren't that many Klingon scenes in the last month.
I was very lucky, but there was an episode with like...
You had the Ash Tyler introduction episode. That was pretty much it.
Anyway,
yeah, so...
pretty rough.
I think that's all we have to say, really.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I really, really apologise for not being completely here. I should be better in about a week, so...
Well, luckily the next episode's about a week.
We got any more Star Trek news?
Any Star Trek news?
What's happening on TrekMovie.com? Let's check them out.
I don't know. I haven't been to Trek Movie since
What's the
2008.
minimum? What's the minimum number of views that a podcast has to get before these guys will suck up to them?
Showrunner reveals work on Star Trek Discovery Season 2 to begin in 2 weeks.
Leaving it a little late, aren't we, guys?
Yeah, I think they should just start it now.
Every time I see Shaniqua Martin Green, she has a new dumb hairdo. I don't like it.
You don't like it?
No, I'm not a fan. Hey, wasn't there a
they're
scene...
not letting her have it on the actual show, so don't worry about it.
Wasn't there a scene where Saru was meeting the aliens and he was like doing the two in the pink? One in the sting?
Oh, yeah, no.
That whole scene where he's first interfacing with the spores. He's like, let me try to reason with them.
He didn't actually do that, but the line before he starts touching them is, maybe, would you give me permission to listen to the noises you're making, and maybe we can understand more about you? And then he instantly, like, balls it into a fist and just goes right in there, into the alien. Like, 1 second he's asking permission to listen to him, and then the next second he's just fucking ramming it in there. Which is confusing. I mean, I guess the aliens compelled him to with their brain.
Yeah.
Who was that? Was that Khan?
But that's well, I'm just looking at the Trek movie news.
Wow.
You can buy a new QMX Khan 1/6 scale.
Bring it up here so
figure.
people can see it.
Yeah. Oh, we just get the webcam and put it over.
No.
For a mere $149.95. Jeez, what's that in Australian dollars, huh?
Don't know. Pennies.
Pennies on the dime.
Pennies on the dollar.
What this is even better. Roddenberry LCARS Keycap Set Whoa.
What? Oh, I want that.
David,
can
have LCARS keycaps for your mechanical keyboard.
Really?
Step right up. You know, we're
Anyways,
doing merch advertisement now for the Roddenberry company.
Scotty.
David, you're about to be seduced by power and luxury. Yeah, you bring up those keycaps. While I explain to people why Khan is still the best villain in Star Trek, and has never really been surpassed by anybody.
Not even Benedict Cumberbatch?
That's such a shit movie. One day I will make myself watch it again, but...
These the same ones?
No, this is the official.
Roddenberry LCARS keycaps. Okay,
Yeah.
well, people have made them before, apparently. But
Yeah. that was virtually the same. They must have Googled it. Yeah, there you go. Look at that shit. Oh,
there it is. Damn it. There it is.
Oh my god.
I want that.
If I hadn't...
Will that fit on my...
Well, yeah, that's standard for Cherry MX compatible mechanical keyboards.
That's me!
That's us, David. I mean, I went to a lot of effort with mine.
Do they have the light? Because
Mine's going to stay as is, Bogdan. But
well, mine has lights. Do these have light? Do the lights shine through these?
you can drill holes in them and...
Oh, great!
Yeah,
Fantastic.
I'm
That's
going to
exactly what I
drill
want to do.
in your $109 set of keycaps. You're going to be drilling holes.
USD.
That's USD. Holy shit. What's one of these?
Is it saying eject core on the escape button?
What the fuck is this?
Scotty,
Oh my god.
it says eject core on the escape button.
It's in universe? Oh my
wait.
god.
Pattern enhance
Is
engage.
there, is
rescan.
is there a button that says Worf?
Why would it say
I
Worf?
don't know. Anyway.
Navlock instead of numlock?
They haven't put
Ops,
space on the
con.
space bar. I guess they don't have to because they already know you're
They're
in
in
space.
space.
Okay. Here's what I don't like. Look at this. New at the Star Trek shop.
Translock?
Discovery standees. You can buy cardboard standees of your favourite... Okay, there's only
It
three
says
of them.
disco standees. Why would you say
Because I'm not buying into this disco thing, alright?
disco standees?
Anyway. You know what
Menu.
pisses me off about that?
Phase?
When the last X-Men movie came out, there was a Sansa Stark one, a standee. I fucking wanted it so bad. I wanted to put it on my
How
studio
tall are they?
door.
Are they life size?
Well, I hope the Sansa one was life-size, because let me tell you what.
We didn't get it anyway. But are these life size?
Well, exactly. Why couldn't... They should sell that thing to the general public. Oh, no. Not the Klingon shirts.
God, they're really
Let me tell you something.
churning that merchandise machine.
I've got, like, the best... And now I've got to fucking turn it inside out. I've got the best Star Trek shirt that money can buy right now.
I think you wore it on a podcast.
I think I wore it on episode 1 of this podcast, but I haven't worn it since because I don't know how to clean it because it says don't put it in the washing machine.
Just put it in the washing machine.
Can't. No, I'm not putting this in the washing. It'll ruin it. It says hand wash or something. I don't
No,
know.
fuck off. It's just a shirt.
No, it's special dye.
Nah.
What is this?
What is that?
Oh, Pad Journal.
Pad Journal.
The latest Star Trek journal from Coop.
let's-
Faux leather hardcover.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Okay, look, yeah, we'll wrap this up.
Yeah.
I don't have any non-Star Trek appearances of Trek actors this week, and we're not doing a fan film. But that's something I'm going to slowly introduce just to ruin David's life and make his episodes longer.
Non-Star Trek appearances of Star Trek actors. What do you mean?
Side gigs.
So when a Star Trek
dumb
regular,
commercials.
a Star Trek
anything.
regular comes onto a normal
Yeah.
piece of media? Okay.
I can get some clips of Cole Meany in Con Air.
Okay.
Wouldn't you like that?
I nominate Mark Alamo in Total Recall.
Is he
My
in
brain
there?
broke.
Yeah, but that's also got...
Yeah, he's wearing a beret and everything.
That's also got Admiral...
Nechayev.
No. Dick
Captain.
Jones.
Oh, he's not an admiral. He's a captain.
Captain Jellicoe, whatever.
Angelica.
Alright,
God, Scotty
fine.
doesn't know the chain of command at all.
Shit. Alright,
Coincidentally, the episode where Captain Jellicoe appeared.
so next week on Star Trek Discovery is going to be called... it's got a much better name.
Within the forest. Under the...
Into the Forest.
Into the forest.
Oh, Orville! Look at this.
Okay,
Embarks
see you
on
guys.
wait. Embarks into the greater unknown with darkest and best episode yet. Holy fuck! How much did they pay them to write that shit?
Scotty, you haven't watched it. I mean,
No. Nobody likes Orville. It's shit.
it got a second season.
It's crap. Look
Okay,
how
Scotty.
old she looks now. She's aging. Look at that.
You may have to watch it to come to that conclusion.
I've watched 3
think.
episodes. That is as much of a show as you need to watch.
Really?
Yeah.
So, if this was TNG, you would have watched Encounter at Farpoint, The Naked Now, and what was it, Justice or Code of Honor or something.
Okay, alright, fair enough. I might have been jumping the gun with TNG, but so what? They front-loaded all their worst moments.
And then we got the best.
Orville, it
only got better and better up until season 7 when the best episode, Parallels, came onto TV. I don't know why everyone hates that episode.
I don't know.
A lot of people don't like Parallels. I think it's one of the best Star Trek episodes there is.
It's so good that there's going to be a podcast on the internet that really rates the episodes properly by their real rankings instead of this nonsense.
Parallels is at least a 9.
Parallels are so dumb. What? 1,000 Wharfs? That would never work. No,
it's a great episode.
It's a brilliant...
The only thing that brings it down a little bit is the fact that the Klingons give out participation trophies, which I didn't realise at first.
They're not really the kind of culture that...
No, I don't think they are. I got 9th place, and he puts the trophy down. Really giving them out.
I never thought of that. Never thought of how dumb that was. I thought he came 3rd.
No, but it was changing, and he looked at the
He
statue.
was in the all-states Batleth competition, and he only came out 9th?
He won the grand prize in the normal universe.
Oh, I mean the real Worf.
Yeah.
That is truly
the real Worf won the Batleth tournament.
It is truly the Worfist timeline.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's
get the fuck out of here. Thank you.
Families who hosted Abraham fucking Lincoln.
Star Trek actor in a non-Star Trek role.
Exactly.
Doesn't really count. See you guys. Bye. See you
Bye.
next week. Don't do that. Hello, fellow humans.
Well, there's 2 pilots.
Yeah.
Chekhov and Sulu.